Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
Hey, my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
Strictly two-player games, only this month though. No more strictly two-player games after this month.
We'll play more games after this.
Even strictly two-player games.
Exactly.
Well, this is one of the videos you've been waiting for because it is award season.
Award day.
Season.
I suppose. If a season was a day.
Now, you've suggested many categories for us to give awards to.
So many.
There was over 75 unique categories, so unfortunately we had to narrow it down. We really appreciated your input into all these categories. I think it was really lovely to see so many of them morph into various ones, and we hope you enjoy our award show season.
Exactly. Obviously, like if we did all of them, they might like overlap a little, so we've done some work with it. And yeah, we've tried to keep it under a certain number of awards as well, just so that we can have like a short-ish video, but it still might be.
Yeah, we don't want this to be like the Oscars lasting 8 hours.
Wow.
There's no red carpet here.
I need somebody to take my seat so the seats look full.
Is that an award season joke?
Yeah, that's what they do, like for
seat
TV.
fillers?
Yeah. As I think.
Awards. Let's get to it. Everybody, please take your seats. We are now ready to begin the award ceremony. Now, thank you again to everybody who has contributed to our award ceremony and given these lovely ideas for categories. We'll make sure to throw your comments up on the screen in the valid category. If we missed your comment, it is possible that you replied too late to our video by the time we actually filmed this, maybe. Or that we just missed it because sometimes mistakes happen, just like this award, just like this awards show.
Just like this award show.
This award show is not a mistake, it is reality.
This is a off-the-cuff awards show. Welcome to my improv.
First up, the category is the best player aid in a strictly two-player game.
Winner for the best player aid goes to Polis.
Oh.
Yeah, it literally gives you like a piece of paper that like full-size piece of paper that walks you through every action, how a round is sequenced, and then it also gives you like a pretty in-depth like game end scoring, what you need to spend on certain things, and I just think it's really well done.
The winner for my best player aid is Cooperative.
Yeah.
Now, this could be a little bit of cheating because technically it is the player board that is the player aid. But, you know, they've compiled it into one. It outlines everything you need to do in your turn. It makes it really easy to learn to play the game. And it's just done in such a seemingly nice way that I'm going to call it a player aid because it aids me in my plays. Cooperative is my winner.
I don't think there has to be a specific card that is a player aid. I think
maybe
anything that guides you along
maybe
your way.
The adjudication committee is going to come after us in these awards.
All right, moving on, we have the best game to make an outfit of.
Ooh.
You have to go first.
Okay. The winner for my award for the best game to make an outfit out of, so like the full gown maybe, a full
gown.
Maybe a full gown.
We corsetting up.
Maybe. The game that won for me is Radlands.
Oh, I almost said that.
The reason being is it's just so full of vibrant colors. I think you can make it really pop as an outfit. It can be a nice tuxedo shirt. It can be a full gown of all those beautiful colors. If you get the deluxe version, you have the player mats to work with. So there's that.
But you still only have one resource.
Yeah, but only one water. So we'll go from there. Radlands is my winner. How about you?
That's a good one. I almost picked it just because of like the cyberpunk-ish style.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I took this one very literally.
Okay.
So mine is patchwork.
Oh!
Because I was like, okay, this is funny. Tiles that are like different patches that you can put onto things, and it just seemed appropriate that you're almost like designing an outfit while you're doing it, because you're putting everything onto.
So next player board is just a full outfit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
tack them on.
And I know it probably might not look good, but it's not how it looks, it's how you work it. And I think given the right opportunity, I could work patchwork.
So up next, this category is suggested by numerous people, and it was, I almost said the name of the winner of the Game of my award.
Oh, now I need to think about what it could be.
And the category is easy to learn, but hard to master. I almost said the category is game name.
Okay.
Okay.
You are absolutely destroying it.
I know. This award show is a blazing success.
My winner for this one is actually the game Face to Face. It's just like, it's basically a draw cards, play cards game. But you have to really try and, to be able to win, you really have to know when you're supposed to put a card down on your end and when you're supposed to put a card down on your opponent's end. And I think that can get really tricky sometimes. You can actually like lose yourself the game completely by doing that, something like that. And I think balancing that give and take is really important. It's not like a super heavy game, but I do think that it's way easier to teach than it is to be good at this game.
Good winner. The winner for my category, for this award for me, is Aqualin. The rules are very simple. You take a tile, you place a tile. But the strategy and how your opponent reacts with those tiles and the fish and the colors, very tricky. So I particularly really enjoy this one for the strategy, and I'm yet to master it.
I love Aqualin. All right, up next we have the easiest to set up.
So the one that won for me is Quarto. You put a board down, you empty the bag, and you're good to go. You pass the tile to the opponent, they pick. Don't need to organize them, don't need to set. Sometimes you do need to flip them to see if there's holes in one of the sides. But you know what? You just dump it out and go. I like it.
Maybe if you're a monster. Just kidding.
Who won for you?
I'm sure well deserving of the award. But my winner is Claim.
Oh.
Because you literally just put the deck out, shuffle, and deal, and then go.
You have to deal a certain amount of cards. You have to make sure not to deal too many. Again, very deserving of the award. It's not a battle. But
who is actually the winner?
Congratulations to Claim and Quarto. So next award is another one that was quite popular in the comments, and that is the best game for a date night or for couples to play.
I see.
What was your pick?
This one was hard for me because I think with this specific category, it can go a lot of different ways depending on what kind of mood you're going for.
Okay.
But my winner in, I guess, like the overall experience was Seven Wonders Duel.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I just think it's like a smooth like game where you can kind of get at each other, not be too mean to each other, but also you could be mean to each other. And then at the same time, like it's a very close race. You're duking it out against each other. And I just feel like it's a good positive, most of the time, interaction. And that's what I would say.
Interesting. The winner for my category is Illumination.
Oh.
The reason I picked Illumination is it has a variety of mechanics that are really fun, like set collection, like tile placement. It's fairly intuitive too. And who wouldn't want to spend a night as monks writing a bunch of scripts and writing the history of the past in 3 different books? I think you're making your own story just like you're making your love story.
All right. You almost lost me with being monks and writing papers all the time, but then you came back with the love comment.
It came back.
Yeah.
Just like love does. Well, now for our intermission.
Oh my.
You may be wondering, as hosts of the show, why are you on your phones? Well, in reality, I don't have a very good memory, so I need to write down the categories and awards on my phone.
I think that's reasonable for anybody. This is our envelope. Okay, so the next one that we have is most likely to pass the test of time. I had to ask you about this one because I wasn't 100% sure. Like, I understand, like,
So like
passing
in
the test of
100
time.
years, will a game be around?
Yeah.
Will it still be popular? Will it still grace the... like chess is a game that has passed the test of time.
Right. Okay, so what did you say then?
So my winner for this category, and you know, some of you may raise some eyebrows at this answer, but I said Seven Wonders Duel. The reason being is it is language independent. There's no certain words that you have to pay attention to. It's all symbols.
Oh.
And it's fairly easy. It's fairly lovable. There's a lot of various pathways to victory. There's a lot of excitement in it. And it just provides a really wholesome experience that I hope people will enjoy through the ages.
Fair. I like that answer. It's a great game.
What about you?
I think mine, I don't know if it has passed the test of time yet, but I think it should have passed the test of time. And that is Pecking Order.
Pecking Order.
Because it's already a pretty old game. And I think, well, the point I guess I'm trying to make is that not a lot of people know about this game. I don't think, at least.
Okay.
But I think it deserves more recognition because it is a really good game, and I think it does pass the test of time for its simplicity, for just the ease of how you learn how to play the game, and yeah, it's just a great game.
I like that answer. Congratulations to Pecking Order and Seven Wonders Duel. Up next, our category is a most likely to lead to celebration. So either it's cheering, a high five. It doesn't have to be a cooperative game. It can be a competitive game as well. Because good moves deserve high fives. What did you pick?
Radlands.
Oh.
Radlands, yeah. So this one I feel like doesn't meet the co-op at all, obviously. But I think when you get a certain play going and it like actually manages to work out, with the cards that you've played, or even just like the timer when you're moving your card up, when you get there and make it happen, it can feel really good. And if your opponent isn't like mad or salty about what just happened to them, they might be like, wow, that was a really good move, high five. And that's why I think Radlands.
I like it. That's a good winner. The one I picked was Pecking Order.
Oh.
And the reason being so is it is a bit of a bluffing game, and sometimes you're able to claim the purchase with low numbers.
Yes.
And when at the end of the round you're able to out-trick your opponent with that low number, you gotta cheer for them. You gotta be like, you really out-tricked me. Congratulations.
A bluff well deserved.
And you know, it's exciting. There's laughs, there's cheers, and that is Pecking Order.
The next category we have is the most relaxing game.
Ooh.
So which did you pick?
The most relaxing game for me is, of course, the one and only Patchwork.
It's like so obvious, I guess.
You're building a quilt, you're collecting buttons. I feel like every time we play this game, there's been a nice coffee or a nice tea involved. It's sometimes Tyler takes my piece. I don't care, because I'll take the next piece and make it work, because that's how quilts are made in real life.
You have somebody stealing your pieces while you make a quilt?
Exactly. What was your pick?
My pick, if I remember correctly, was, well, now it's Stellar.
Oh.
Stellar, yes, yeah. So I feel like the game itself is not like super, well, it's not a very heavy game, but it's just like super beautiful. And if you've ever been like stargazing, I think it's just one of those activities that's super calming. And this game kind of embodies that, I feel. You're not necessarily fighting against each other for cards. I mean, sometimes you
just
are.
For the telescope.
Yeah, it would be nice for some things, but it doesn't work out all the time, and it does feel quite relaxing to play, even when it doesn't work out.
Well, I'm relaxed already. Time for our next intermission. We are now back from intermission, and I'm ready to present the next award.
Next will be the halftime show. Whatever that is. Again, improv.
Throwback to our dancing announcement in the first video. Let's bring some of that back. Well, the next award is the Paralysis by Analysis Award. Which game has got you thinking?
This theme has got me thinking. and I may be paralyzed.
Paralysis. Tyler, what did you choose?
I feel like this is pretty obvious, and Ilya probably could guess this, but I picked Curious Cargo. I want it to work out so perfectly when I play that game, and I don't know what it is about like connecting pipes to things, but I need it to work out perfectly, and it never ever does. So I sit there and think and think and think and think and think and think and think, and it never works out for me.
And I win by a tremendous amount of points.
Well, maybe not a tremendous, but it does give me a lot of AP. It's giving me AP just thinking about it right now, actually.
Well, I will present my award while he is in AP. Analysis by Paralysis. The one that won my award was Polis. There are 11 actions you can choose from. And you can't do the same action twice. So you have to do 2 different actions. And that becomes very tricky. Although sometimes it's very clear what you need to do, your opponent may shift the tides of the game by restricting territories and control, which leaves you in a paralysis of analysis.
Now that I have realized I don't need to be worried about my paralysis by analysis because we're just filming a video, we can move on to the next category, which is most likely to end friendships.
And some of you in the comments were very excited about this one. I've seen divorce ending, flipping tables, sleeping on the couch. There was a lot of comments that requested this specific category. So we narrowed it down to ending friendships because I think divorce is a little too far.
Maybe it will end a divorce or end a marriage. Who knows? But
well,
let's just hope it doesn't get there.
The game that I chose is Kahuna.
Oh, okay. I did not expect that.
So in this game, you're building bridges and you're trying to claim islands. And basically, if removing a bridge can cascade into your opponent losing quite a lot of property. And as we all know, no one loves to lose property. And sometimes you just don't see it in that game. And when you do, it's too late.
Yeah. Even as the player, like, doing the action, you don't notice it sometimes. And you place it and you're like, oh, wow, I actually didn't see that coming.
And then you're like, why am I even playing this game?
Yeah, I've obviously lost.
Yeah. What did you choose?
I picked Lost Cities.
Oh, I knew you would pick that one.
Now, there are a lot of 2-player games out there that are take that. So I will just like throw that out there and say be careful the games that you pick if you're worried about ending a friendship or potentially getting a divorce. But I picked Lost Cities specifically because it's a hand management game where it's 1v1 and you're essentially discarding cards and drawing cards. But when you discard, you give the person an opportunity to take those cards. And I think the luck of drawing cards that are super beneficial to your opponent is really, like, there is a high chance there. And when you do that, some people just hold onto the card. And holding onto the card, I'll say that it's smart, but it kind of just sucks because you know, like, you can take a guess as the person who's trying to get the card that they have it, and you're like, well, I'm not going to win this because I can't get that card.
Well, as we know, Tyler's a perfectionist, so it's a bulletproof strategy to hold on to cards that he needs, because he will wait for them.
Obviously, there's a
you don't need
there's
to
a
wait
caveat
for
there
them.
because you don't get, like, you have a max hand size, so you have to be careful with the cards that you do end up keeping. But even like the doublers, like if you keep the doubler card, that feels bad.
True. We're now entering the bests of the bests categories. The next 10 will be the best games in a particular subject.
But we did those already, didn't we? We did 2. We did the player aid and the outfit.
Oh.
Yeah.
We have done a couple of bests, but now there's more.
This is why we need a script.
The next award is the best table presents.
Yes. Oh, I have to go first. Aha! Okay, this one's already got an award from you, but I picked Akratiri because it starts out with this just single tile, and then as you play the game, it builds out and grows bigger. It's got some nice colors to it, and you're actively using like all the tiles to move your little boat around and find the routes. And I think that it's a lot of fun because of that, and it just takes up a lot of table space, but for a purpose. So I appreciate that a lot.
The one that I chose was Paris, La Cité de la Lumière. And the reason being so is, first of all, the box is where the tiles are played, and it's indented and it's beautiful. There's little buildings that come up, the chimneys come up, the postcards are beautiful. The aesthetic is just moi. And everyone's always curious what you're doing with that beautiful game on the table, and because it draws attention. And why are you playing in the box? Well, that's how you're supposed to play.
That's how the game is played.
And that is Paris. Congratulations to both the winners.
Next category. The best game to introduce to others.
So this one was also requested quite significantly, as a lot of you are looking to get more people into board games. The one that won for me was Nenga Parbat.
Oh, I like that game.
So the factor that really draws people in is it's actually fairly simple. You take an animal, you move the camper to the camp where the corresponding number is.
Yep.
And then the more animals you have, the way you've laid out your camps, you can score points. What is a selling factor is this game is gorgeous. There's animeeples. Everybody loves animeeples. And the various ways to score points will certainly leave you coming back for more, because you're bound to learn in this game and say, hey, I want to play again, because there's going to be a time where I'm going to beat you.
Yeah, it's a pretty intuitive game.
What game did you choose?
I picked Aqualin.
Yay!
I think actually for the same reasons you picked it for easy to learn, hard to master, is that I think it's a very easy game to introduce to people. Most people can get on board with a sea creature based game as well. So I think like it's super inviting. Yeah, it's just simple, like moving your tile, placing a tile, moving a tile kind of thing. And I think for that reason, it like exceeds a lot of expectations for introducing it to games or to people. And then on top of that, there's a lot of strategy to that game and a lot of playing the player that I think people can get on board with, because it isn't necessarily a I'm aiming to hurt you. It's more of a I'm aiming to make the situation better for myself. So, yeah.
Congratulations to both the winners.
Aqualin.
Now, just like this award show, we're going to look at the best produced board game, because this award show has been produced to the best of our ability. What game did you choose?
All right, my winner for this category is Caper Europe. Need I say more?
Say more, please.
Honestly, I think it's just something with Keymaster Games that they do a really good job with, is their production of the game. The like from the box to the insert to the components to all of the art that they've put into it. It's just like it all cohesively works together, fits nicely in this box, and then has this like really great table presence that I just think makes the game even more playable than it already is. And I think that was the winning thing for me, is like, if it's produced well, does it play well as well? And if it didn't do that, then, or if it kind of did that, it was like a contender. But Caper does a really good job at doing all of that, and I think Caper is my winner.
Now, in the first of our award show, we have a double winner.
Oh!
I also chose Caper Europe. Like Tyler said, the components, the quality, it is a game that you will just want to touch and feel tactile-wise. But overall, it just flows very well together as well, which I really appreciated, and that's why it won Best Production for me.
In the same veins of Best Production, kind of, I guess, we're going to look at the Best Art. Fashion.
No, art.
Art.
I guess I go first.
Yeah, you have to go first.
So the one that won the best, this one was a tough category because there's a lot of beautiful 2-player games out there.
There's a lot of beautiful games
But
out
just by a hair,
there.
Canopy has won my pick. Vincent Dutray's art in this game is simply phenomenal.
Yeah.
The fact that you're building your trees, the game comes alive at the table with the vibrant artwork, and it could not have been done better.
I like that answer. It's not my answer, but I like that answer.
What did you choose?
I picked Haven.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was also very torn with this category because there are a lot of talented artists out there. And I think for me, what sold it is actually like the theme integration with it. I think the art and the theme go extremely well together, and with this like nature technology thing, the color contrasts, everything. I just like.
It is a beautiful game.
Yeah, and Ryan is great at what he does, and I think this is no feat. What's the right way to say that? I am not disappointed.
An accomplishment.
Yeah, this is an accomplishment to Ryan.
Congratulations to the best artwork to both the games. Up next, we have the best cooperative 2-player board game.
Right.
What did you choose?
This one, I think, like, if somebody asked me about this for a strictly 2-player game, I wouldn't hesitate to say this game. And that's Codenames Duet.
Oh.
I would not hesitate to bring this game up almost instantly. I just think I really like Codenames to begin with. I think it's a great intro game for everybody. It really invites people into the space, and a lot of people already know about the game. So it's one of those games where you can just like introduce to people with a little bit of a twist. So you can get right into it most of the time. You just have to explain that, like, instead of working against each other, we're now working together. And that's what makes it obviously a cooperative game. But it just does a really good job at taking something that was competitive and turning it into this like smooth cooperative experience that isn't far off from what it is originally.
The one that I chose is different, actually. I
I know what
chose
he's going to say.
Fox in the Forest Duet.
Yeah.
It's trick-taking, it's strategic, like, not area control, but shifting on the little board, collecting the gems. It's masterfully done. It's an extremely great game, and I love playing cooperatively because it is one of those games that, like, we cannot seem to get this. Let's try again, let's keep going, let's do this as a team. It really brings out that cooperative nature, and it would be the one that I wouldn't hesitate to recommend to others for a cooperative game.
That's why they won the category.
Cooperatives.
Woo woo! Alrighty, let's take a look at the best affordable game.
Ooh, okay.
What did you say?
So coming under $10 is Claim. Another trick-taking game. There may be a pattern happening here. Well, the game is essentially a deck of cards, but it is so fun to play. It is so easy to play again. And there's just simply a lot to love about Claim. And it is the one that I picked as the most affordable.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Mine, I'll go on a tangent. I picked Star Realms. Because the base game is relatively affordable. But the great thing about that is you can expand if you really enjoy it or if you're looking for more things to do. So it's the same game. It's quite compact. Well, I guess to a point.
It is compact.
No, because you end up getting the giant box if you go further than that. But we're talking about affordability. Just based on the base game alone, like it is this small little box. It's got everything you need. It's just cards. You don't have to worry about any kind of setup really, besides making sure that everybody has their starting deck. And it's just a quick and easy deck builder that is a lot of fun. And yeah, there's something about deck builders.
Now, you may be at the airport. You may be at the beach. You may be in the library. Who knows where you may be?
You may be at your seat.
This award show has just been upgraded.
Did you know that we also include poetry in our...
So, this category is the best game for traveling, or the best travel-friendly game.
Yes, yeah.
What was your pick?
I feel like my answer was the obvious answer, so I picked Circle the Wagons.
Oh, that's not the answer I
Yeah.
picked.
Oh, okay. All right. But this essentially comes in a wallet version.
Yep.
Where you have this two-sided thing that holds cards. It's 14 cards? 18 cards. So it's not a lot of cards. It's very easy to set up. It can go into small places. You can put it, like, I don't think I have to explain it any more than that. Circle the Wagons, one for me.
I was close to that one, but the thing is I can't play that on an airplane because you need that full rondelle. There's a little bit of desk space
I suppose. I think I know what you're going to say.
I said Hive Pocket.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Well, Hive Pocket, the tiles are smaller. It can be played really on any surface, and the play area can be quite restricted. You don't need a ton. Like, I think you can basically play the game on a sheet of paper, which hopefully you have wherever you go.
That's a good point. So
Hive Pocket was my best travel-friendly game. And it's also durable. If you're at the beach, you can play. The tiles get wet, not a huge deal.
You can literally put them in the sand. That would be cool.
You can play underwater.
Well, don't do...
You could.
You could, but you maybe shouldn't.
Bathtub game? Maybe.
All right. That's the best for travel category. We have 3 categories left.
3 categories left. The award show is winding down.
We didn't even do the halftime show. So this next one is the best theme integration.
So the one that won for me is Watergate.
Oh.
I think the connecting the evidence to the informants, blocking out pathways, trying to get enough momentum to finish your term. Everything you're doing is very thematic in a sense. Everything you're doing is trying to get a piece of evidence. You are that journalist, or you are part of the Nixon administration just trying to cover their tracks. Mm-hmm. So every action you have, every card has a bit of history. I think it's theme in a game, in a nutshell, integration so extremely well. So it was my hands down winner for this category.
Hands down winner.
Hands down.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought this one category would be the one that we were like...
You have a different answer?
And I have a different answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Time You Killed Me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think that this game... Well, first of all, it's a very unique game, so like that puts it up there for me. Yeah. But at the same time, like everything you do in the past, the present, and the future, which are all separate boards, essentially impact what you can be doing like everywhere. And I think that because it's a time travel game, that piece right there is just wonderfully integrated into the game. I think it's a great theme to begin with. So seeing like, without getting too much into it, but like even just like planting a tree, because that's like one of the first modules you'll get, but planting a tree in the present or a seed in the present will turn it into a tree in the future. And I think that's so cool because it happens like instantaneously and will impact the way you play your people in different modes. Yeah.
Great winner. And that is the best theme integration. So the next category we have is the best 2-player game for strategy. Strategy 2-player game.
Strategy. Well, I have an answer because I wrote it down here. But this one for me was also pretty tough. I think there is a lot of good strictly 2-player games that have a lot of brain thinky stuff to it. That are all possible winners for this. My winner, however, is Targi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll kind of walk down the same street as the easy to learn, hard to master road, where you are just kind of like placing your, I guess meeples. You're placing your meeples in certain spots to be able to take cross-functional actions. And I think that's really neat, but you have to be willing to like work through your strategy to decide if blocking somebody from being able to take one is worth it, if going up to the top is better than going to the bottom kind of thing. There are just like these little twists and turns that make the game really interesting and also impact your turn quite significantly. So you can do the smallest of things that will make you be like, oh, I should have done that last turn. Or, oh, I missed out on this opportunity. Maybe I should have actually blocked Ilya from being able to do this. So I think there's a lot of thought that goes into every move. And although it, in practice, seems pretty simple, it does end up just being like this brain burn that you've got to be able to use all of your resources. You really want to be efficient with everything you do in this game, or you fall behind, and you don't want to fall behind because the goal of the game is to win.
That is true. And that is Tyler's best strategy. The one that won for me is Twilight Struggle.
I am not surprised.
I think this is the game of the Cold War era between the United States and the Soviet Union, and essentially there's so many things you can pay attention to. But I think the best strategic element is you have a hand of cards, and playing some is going to benefit your opponent. So the timing of when you play cards and the scoring cards, for example, too, really impacts the game. And you really have to wonder, like, could they potentially shift tides? And then you're able to play this card and make it less beneficial to them, because right now it would be very. And I think that layer of it makes it really exciting, but as well as trying to pay attention to everything and seeing how the game grows, adapts, and progresses, because it is really being lived through by what you do.
Yeah.
And that is my best strategy pick.
That's a good pick.
Now, last, but certainly not least in our categories, Tyler will announce, because I announced the last one.
Ilya wrote down best replayability.
So a lot of you have asked.
It should be framed as, like, most replayable.
Or the best replayability value in
Maybe.
the game.
Who knows?
This is the bests category. The best of the best. So who, or you announced the categories?
I announced the categories, so you have to go first.
The game that won best replayability for me is Codenames Duet.
Huh?
I think, like when Codenames got released, there's just, that game has hit many a tabletops in my life personally, and it was always the game to pull out. And the Codenames Duet elevated that experience for me and made it more exciting. It made it more thematic in a sense. But there's just something about giving niche clues to various words with one word that's just so exciting, and I want to do it on an everyday basis. So that is, and there's also a variety of challenges you can try with various ways that you have to, various mistakes you can make, the amount of rounds you can win, the campaign mode. So overall, I think this is the most replayable, strictly two-player game.
Ooh, I like that. I think there are a lot of different games that have like modules, so you can like add to them. So I was like, when I was thinking about this one, I was actually kind of surprised I didn't land on one of the ones that has modules. My most replayable game would be Mandela.
Oh, yeah. Very good pick.
Mm-hmm. And I think because like the pace of the game feels like it should be controlled by both you and your opponent, but sometimes like your opponent gets ahead of you and you have to kind of like determine whether or not you're actually potentially going to win the game based on what you've got, or if you need to like try to slow the game down, what that might look like. So I think there's a lot to think about in the game. It's very simple actions, but it just feels so smooth that even when I don't score well, or when I lose, I guess, I really want to play it again to try and do better. And it's one of those games that I feel like even if you play it more and more, you're not necessarily going to get better at it, but I guess your scores won't get better, but like your thought process will get better. You'll learn when you need to do certain things, and it just feels really good playing
it's a really
that game.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Now for the next category, replayability.
Oh, I get it. That's funny.
Well, thank you so much for watching our awards video. Our show, if you enjoyed what you saw, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to us, leave a comment down below if you think these awards were worthy, or if the adjudication committee is going to come after us. Was there foul play?
Will Beasley and Maggie have a say in this?
Maybe.
Who knows? Are they the determining factors? Are they the last votes? I guess
the
Swanson
tiebreakers
would probably be the tiebreaker.
I'm surprised we only had one crossover.
Yeah, me too.
I expected more crossover. But you know what? That leaves for an exciting award show.
Yes.
And
exactly.
if there was 2 winners, maybe you can let us know down below in the comments who
you
maybe
think is the real
is the
winner.
real winner. Well, all the games are the
Oh.
real winners because they've won an award
You
in
get a
our
medal. You get a
Strictly
medal.
2 award show. Now, to wrap up our Strictly 2 Player Month, we have a top 10 video coming out this
Friday.
So you can see our top 10 lists. Will there be surprises? Will there be tiers? Maybe.
This was hard for me.
This was extremely hard for me. So, but we haven't shared our lists, so we'll have our raw live reactions that you'll witness later because they'll be live for us, but then they'll be posted on the video later.
Yeah, raw, live, and edited.
Well, thank you so much for watching. We will see you on Friday.
Woohoo! Take care, everybody.
The award show needs...
We've lost him, folks. Moving on to the next topic.